Welcome to Inspire and Move, the show that inspires you to create, connect, and grow. I'm going to bring you meaningful conversations, aha moments, and all the motivation you need to up-level every part of your life. I'm Nicole Arruda, founder of Inspire and Move, and your personal hype girl. I've gone from fashion school to celebrity stylist to corporate marketing to brick and mortar entrepreneurship with my husband, each time learning incredible lessons how to pivot, reimagine, and implement the steps to become successful. I am passionate about inspiring others to live their best life, a life of joy. We have the power to design a life that we love because life is too short not to. The best part is that you weren't meant to do this alone. If you feel like you were meant for more, let me ride shotgun with you, and together, let's get you to where you want to go. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Inspire and Move podcast. I am so excited to have you back for part 2 of my interview with Nicole Arruda and my sister-in-law, Nicole Arruda, who is the beautiful founder and face of Nicole Alexandra Design Studio. And she is talented, you guys. So we are back for part 2 of this episode and this great conversation. Let's dive in. What have been some of the biggest wins that you want to celebrate? And let's talk about, because I mean, we know what they are, but what has felt like some of the biggest wins for you?
I think professionally, probably one of the biggest wins is the consistency of new work. I think too, as a business owner, you're kind of like scared, right? Like, am I going to get more work? Am I going to continuously be busy? It's always very scary to think that the work is just going to stop. Mm-hmm. And the fact that year by year, we just get busier and busier with projects that really align with us and clients that are just so amazing. That's a win, because I think as a business owner, all you really want to do is be better than the year before. And that's what's been happening for us. So I'm really grateful and excited about that. And personally, it's my house that I just bought. I mean, geez, that has been a dream of my life, really, was to buy a historic older home and make it my own. And the fact that that is now something that is happening is kind of like, whoa, I didn't think this was going to happen as quickly as it did, but it did, and I'm so excited about that.
Do you feel like you are living in your dream right now?
Yeah. I mean, now with the house kind of
like living in construction and changes, but metaphorically,
yes. I mean, designing your own home and being able to renovate it. Again, there's so much gratitude I have to be in the position to be able to do that from a design perspective. It's like so fun to design your own space. But it's just, this totally feels like a dream. It's very, very exciting to be able to make your home, every inch of it, the way that you want it.
And kind of fun to see it from this side of the mirror, right? Mm-hmm. Your job is to effectively speak to clients about what it is that's going to elevate their space and how they're going to feel based off of X, Y, or Z that you think is going to be executed.
Yeah.
But now you're executing it for yourself. Mm-hmm. So you can speak to it from a place of authenticity for whatever it is you're going to speak to moving forward, because you've literally walked the walk on this now, which in and of itself has to bring a certain sense of there's almost a certain sense when if you were to be coming to me as an interior designer and saying, here's my portfolio, or here's what I've gone through and all the rest, obviously the work that you've done prior to now speaks for itself.
Yeah.
But you've walked the walk. And now I think there's a sense of legitimacy behind that and having more of an authority on that wouldn't necessarily be there in the same breath if you weren't going through all of the construction to make it exactly what you want and for the reasons why you want to make it in your own place now, for sure.
Yeah, that's true. It's like, hey guys, I'm doing this too.
Yeah. Exactly.
Well, I think it's also really cool, and I know we kind of got into this at our last family dinner, but you were sharing some of these amazing collaborations that you're doing, and it wasn't like, oh, I'm doing this collaboration and this. You rhymed off like half of your house, it felt like, and it was such a wow moment for me. I was like, girlfriend, you are just thriving even just in the space for content creation.
Yeah.
And a different type of expansion beyond your practice and from a design standpoint. And I think that it's so neat. And how has that felt for you, just kind of tripping on the opportunity to be a content creator?
That's a good question, because I don't identify, like I feel like I'm not an influencer. I feel like I'm not a content creator.
But you're a person of influence.
And that's so crazy.
And yet how many people will come to you asking a question about what they should do in their property, on their home?
A lot.
A lot.
Yeah.
And how many, what's the percentage that you would say are not your paying clients?
A lot.
So you are influencing the hell out of people, whether you know it or not.
Well, I love that. You know, I definitely love to be that authentic person that is like, oh, I love what she's doing in her home. I mean, interior design is so much more than just my job. It's really just, you know, who I feel like I am.
Your ethos.
Exactly. It really is. So to have people look up to that or have questions or see a project that I design and, you know, see it come to life in their own home is amazing. But kind of getting back to, you know, social media and this content creation world, social media is wild. I mean, I never thought that I was going to be getting these collaborations and partnerships for my own home. And, you know, I've been getting these emails of, you know, we love what you're doing, or we saw this, or we saw the home, and they want to be part of it. And I think that is really, really exciting. And so, yeah, if I do think it's a good fit, I definitely want to be choosy of the brands that I do choose to collaborate with. But there are a bunch that are just amazing vendors, and ones that I've shopped for my other clients too. So it's great that now they want to be part of it in my own home, and that's
got to feel really cool.
It is.
Yeah.
And, you know, yeah, it's exciting.
Well, it's very authentic too. And I think that's
Exactly.
a big thing when it comes to content creation. People are smart.
Yes.
You know, social media is a wild game. And it changes all the time. But I think from a consumer standpoint, people are smart. So if you have never shopped at StruckTube, but then all of a sudden you're outfitting your home in StruckTube, people might be like, but I thought Nikki was like a Restoration Hardware girl or a Pottery Barn, or, you know, whatever the brands may be. The people are smart.
And I do think in the world too of content creation, you got to be a little careful with that, because at the end of the day, it is your brand. And sure, would it be great to have everything in my house a collab? Sure. But I also want to feel like it is things that I want, vendors and stores and people that I would want to source for my clients too. And if it's not, for whatever reason, whether it's style or maybe the customer service was a little shoddy, then it might be something I might pass up on. But even the fact that I'm getting these opportunities to be able to pass up on is wild. So.
Well, you've been really building your personal brand, and the whole notion of a personal brand, I think, is so important, especially as an entrepreneur when you're building your business that has this brand attached to it. And you know, you've had so many amazing opportunities, like the Holiday House opportunity, that installation in the Hamptons this past year, some of your press, whether it be news articles, blogs, that is such a beautiful reflection of this hard work that you do every day.
And we're not talking like small publications. We're not talking about like, I don't know, the Rochester Times or whatever.
Does that exist? Is that a thing?
Threw it out there. Just threw it out there. Or, you know, like the Hudson Muse.
Yeah.
You know, like those that might also exist.
The Lake Report.
Yeah.
That's mom and dad's in Niagara.
The Lake Report?
Yeah.
I mean, Oakville Beaver.
Yeah. That too.
But I'm talking like Domino.
Yes.
I'm talking AD. Like these are effing big. Like these are no joke. These are people, or these are organizations that in and of themselves have hundreds of thousands or millions in some cases of followers and subscribers, and people that look to them to say, influence me in something.
Yeah.
And they're putting you in that basket for good reason, mind you, but they're putting you in that basket, and you've put yourself in a position to have them look your way and be able to say, that's fresh, that's new, that's exciting, she's young, she hasn't been doing this for the last 30 or 40 years, but she's still created her own niche to exist in her own space, in her own energy. And I think that shouldn't be glossed over, because you are young still.
Yeah.
And 30-something, early 30-something year olds, they probably, you know, most of us at 30-something, early 30-something year olds, we would love to be in a place where we're just so clear on what it is that we should be doing and executing and being successful at and building on and all the rest. It doesn't always go that way.
No.
Some of us luck into it, where you found the right organization at the right time, and they grew as you grew, and everything kind of lent itself. But you know, you took a flyer on something that was in a completely different part of the world, in an industry that, you know, you didn't necessarily know you wanted to do until you were mid-20s. and then you made it something special. You blew it up on your own because you believed in it ultimately. And I think it's your belief in it that has allowed other people to kind of join the ride with you. Sales is nothing other than just, the transference of excitement from you to the next person. That next person largely buys because they're recognizing, they're seeing it in you, how excited you are about whatever product or service it is that you offer, and you become contagious in that moment. And that's where they decide this has to make sense because I can't help but be affected by how you are affected by it.
It's true.
But for those of you that, or for those of your clients that don't come to you because they've had the time to talk to you face to face or meet with you at the holiday house during an installation, a lot of, I would imagine, them coming to you is because of the outside marketing and opportunities that you've set yourself up to be more visible for.
Yeah.
For sure.
I would say so too. And that's, again, social media.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It is crazy. It is. And becoming more, I think, it's becoming more of an expected way of how you enroll parts of your business.
Well, it's like the new Yellow Pages.
100%.
Or
and
business
more
card.
so.
Yeah.
And even
Like you
more so.
Go to a networking event and you're like, hi, I'm Allie. Nice to meet you. What's your Instagram?
Yeah.
Or here's my Instagram. Follow me or send me a message. And that's how people network and connect.
Yeah, and especially too in interior design where it's so visual, right? Like it's like I can tell you I'm an interior designer, but you're going to want to see
Your work.
spaces.
And I was thinking this earlier. It's interesting in that, Allie and I have this brick and mortar business.
Yeah.
And that is how you are able to largely, for the most of what we do a few other fun things, but brick and mortar business is largely where we run the majority of our entrepreneurial side of our life out of.
Yeah.
You almost have this hybrid where it starts in this online version first, whether they're seeing things that are on social media or on your portfolio. There's nothing for them to physically walk into and to touch and to hold or to taste. It is the visual expression that you've created that they are able to ingest, but it all lives online as a service exclusively. But then you translate it into a very physical space that now you can touch, you can smell, that you will remember how it literally made you feel because you're enrobed in it or you're sitting on it or whatever it looks like. It's an interesting juxtaposition that I think you do really, really well. And for anybody in your line of work to do well, and they have to master it, which I think you have, where you take it out of the idea or the ideation of what it could be to physically incorporating it into everyday life for them.
Yeah, well, thanks. I appreciate that. These are things that it's like, oh yeah, I guess that is what I do,
Kind of cool, right?
Which is so cool.
Yeah.
So thanks for putting it in that way. But I think kind of going back to what we originally were all discussing is when you love something and it feels so aligned with you and it's authentic, you feel it, others feel it, and the gravitation and the, movement from that just is organic. And I think that's kind of how my journey has felt up until even just going to school for interior design. I've kind of just followed what's felt right for me and what has made me happy. And in the end, we're here now, and it's just been a very gratifying journey, that's for sure.
Well, you set me up for a beautiful transition because one of my final questions for you is more about you and what is it that brings you joy?
Yeah.
And what are some things that are non-negotiables for you to set yourself up for success in a day, in a week, to feel your best and perform your best?
Organization. I mean, I'm laughing because you've seen.
Oh my gosh, I've seen your lists.
Yeah, I love lists. So I'll typically on just.
And I'm laughing because I know that you weren't always this way.
No.
I have a real look behind the curtain as to how you lived your life. And this is
We're running out of time.
effing amazing.
But yes, I think when you run your own business, it's like, well, shit, like I need to get my stuff together. I can't be living off of Post-it notes everywhere. I need to get clear on what do I have this week? What are my goals this week? Who am I following up on this week? And a big part of my job too is following up. So keeping myself very organized. I love a checklist. All of that is super important.
And do you have a software that you use for this?
No, usually my phone or my, traditional old school agenda that I have.
And you like the Notes app?
I love the Notes app. Yeah, my Notes app is a non-negotiable.
Non-negotiable.
Yeah, that is a non-negotiable. And typically every Sunday, I'll just kind of lay it out. I'm a very visual person, so I still love gel pens and highlighters and color-coded stickies and kind of all of those things. So when I feel organized and it looks good, I'm like, perfect. It's going to be a great week. And so that's how I kind of set myself up that way. And then, I work predominantly from home when I'm not out on the work field or seeing clients or vendors or whatever the case may be that day. So I do try to make sure that I'm not overworking. I don't want my day to start at 8 and next thing you know, it's 7 o'clock and I haven't eaten anything. So I do try to either, go for a walk. I have a dog, so that's obviously non-negotiable for him. But go outside. I love SoulCycle. Physical activity is also really important. I think it's a great use of energy, especially when you've been home all day on client calls or design presentations. It's nice to be able to step away and use that energy elsewhere.
Yep.
And that fuels me too. And again, my job is very creative. So sometimes I'll hit a creative block and just going outside can help that. So that's also a non-negotiable. And friends and family. I mean, everybody is busy, but I think it's so important to, it fills up my cup hearing about my friends' days or venting about my day or whatever might be going on. So I try to really have that work, life, play balance as much as I can. I think we all do.
That's great. Yeah. I think it is so easy to, I should probably take my own advice, like praising you. I'm like, oh my God, that sounds amazing. Great job. I'm like, I should do that more because I really like to work.
Yes, me too.
But the idea of taking a break and finding that, even if it's just, grab a coffee, grab a tea, stand on the deck with your dog,
anything,
whatever it is, something that kind of resets the clock for a minute. And then you take whatever that needs to be, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, probably not even more than that. And come right back in and
just a quick little
pick up where you left off.
Yeah.
And I think recognizing that actually is truly productive and it's not lazy.
Yes.
Nor is it like taking steps back.
Yeah.
It's not.
And there's a lot of mental work to do there on that notion, which is a conversation for another time. But I think as high achievers, it is so easy to like overperform. I feel like this is really resonating because I feel like I am very much in that right now, that I need to practice this to be like, I'm actually going to read for 20 minutes.
Yeah, I'm going to unplug.
Yeah,
and that's
I'm
okay.
Exercise a different part of my brain.
Yeah, reset and reboost.
Yeah. Very true. All that makes sense.
All right, Miss Beautiful Thing, where can everyone find you?
You can find me on Instagram, Nicole Alexandra Arruda. That's where I am on Instagram, my website, Nicole Alexandra Design Studio. And that's where I'm at.
Are you taking new clients if people want to work with you? Like, can they apply?
Always.
And what's the best way? Is this a DM? Are they shooting you a application?
Form on the website.
As it should be, as there should be. Like, apply here to see if you could. No, I'm just kidding. But not really.
No, email
Such a
me.
proud brother.
Yes. No, my website, there's a form. You fill out your name, your scope, your budget, your timeline, what you're looking for, all that fun stuff. And if we can't fit you in right now, we'll think of something and see if we can make it happen. But that's going to be step number 1.
Amazing. And we'll link all of that in the show notes. So for any of you that want to follow Nicole, want to work with her, everything will be in the show notes. Also so weird, I just called you Nicole.
I know, that was weird. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah,
kind of like it.
How professional of me.
That's a me thing.
So,
that is a you thing.
Yeah, that's a weird thing for sure.
Nick, thanks for being here.
There we go. We're back on. Back to normal.
Well, just to put a bow on everything, and I feel like Matt and I will both want to have a little closure here, that we are so proud of you.
Thank
and it
you.
has been truly amazing.
And I'm proud of you guys too.
Thanks.
The record.
Thanks.
It's really been truly amazing watching you soar to such extreme heights, and like there's no limit on that right now. And I'm really excited for your next chapter, for your new home, and this entire new journey for you, just expanding into the beautiful human and beautiful designer that you are.
Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you guys.
Yeah, you were raised right.
Thanks, Mom and Dad. I guess you could say you raised me too. You are about 12 years older.
I'm actually 9 years older.
Who's counting?
Jackass. But that said, I guess I kind of did. But thanks to me, you have an amazing taste in all things 1990s, early 2000s hip hop.
Yep, and a great sense of humor.
You're welcome. You're welcome. It's unfortunate you couldn't dribble a basketball to save your life, but that's another discussion.
I'm better now. It's a balance.
That's right.
This was so fun to be able to do effectively like a family podcast.
This was so fun. Thank you guys for having me.
Thanks for being here. And I hope everyone loves just to be able to connect with you and listen to your story and your journey. And
me too.
Until next time. Thanks for being here, everyone. Thanks for your love, support, and sharing this episode and this podcast. And we'll see you again soon.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you so much for listening. If you loved this episode, it would mean the world to me if you took 30 seconds and shared this on social media, send it to a friend, or leave a 5-star review. There is power in community, and I am so grateful to have you part of mine.